Hello, everybody. This is Chica.
And I'm Miss B.
And this is
Untamed Thoughts. Hey, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Thank you once again for tuning in to Untamed Thoughts with Chica and Miss B. We have a guest here on today. We have Miss Bella.
Hello.
Of Bella Lux brand. We're going to talk to her a little bit about her business a little later on, but we've got some other stuff to talk about before we get there. Tonight is sure to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I think
interesting for sure.
Absolutely. I think if you have your small children with you, you might want to put them in the other room. Maybe I'm sure.
Early bedtime.
I think I might as well give a disclaimer. You might need to put your children away.
Okay, good. Okay. I like those disclaimers. It's good. It's good. Listen, Chica, what's going on?
Oh, how you doing, friend?
I'm here. I'm here living the dream.
That's right. Always living the dream.
Always
I'm excited for tonight.
Okay, all right. You're excited for tonight.
I'm ready
to
get started.
What? You would be. You would
ready
be
to get
excited
started.
for tonight. Bella, what about you? How you doing today?
I'm wonderful.
Okay.
Absolutely wonderful. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite, ladies.
Absolutely. It's
Welcome.
always a pleasure.
Yes.
Always a pleasure. Well, today we're going to discuss, it's this term that's always out there. Okay. I mean, because y'all know sometimes I'm a little behind the times, right? So it's the term out there.
Don't worry, we can get you sped up.
I know you got to get me up to speed, right? So y'all going to help me today?
I got you today.
We got you.
Got me today? Okay,
I got you.
It's just sex. How many times have we as women heard that phrase? Baby, I don't even know why you tripping. It was just sex. I don't understand what the problem is. You know I love you, baby. It was just sex.
I can say I've never been told that because they would be punted off the roof.
Oh, okay. We're throwing people off the roofs now. Bella, have you ever heard that?
I've heard it.
It's my turn?
I mean, join us.
Are you,
it was just sex. Have you ever heard that phrase?
So I have heard it.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been said to me per se.
Okay.
Not in a way of like a angry conversation.
Okay.
Like, how could you? Not in that way.
Okay.
But I have heard that, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I have heard it. I have heard it. I have been in situations where, because y'all know I'm a little innocent, so some things I don't. Get you something to drink.
Excuse me.
I don't always know certain things are in the know, because for a long time I was off the scene. For a very long time I was off the scene. So it was some things that I just didn't know. So I've had some.
I saw that face, Chica.
I've had some experience, with a young man that I was dating, because I had jumped back into the dating scene, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna get to know each other and everything's gonna be good, and found out that he had been stroking and soaking with some other chick.
Slogan. Every week it's a slogan.
I mean, he was stroking and soaking with another chick, and I was a little hurt by that. And the thing that he said to me was, but I care deeply about you. I'm falling in love with you, and we're vibing and we're enjoying each other's company and everything, but it don't have nothing to do with that. I mean, it was just sex. Yeah, go ahead, because I was a little confused at it.
Okay, so let me rewind it back. So yes, I have heard the term, but I am the one that has used the term. Basically, it's just sex. What is the big deal?
Oh, and you added a what is the big deal?
Right.
Oh, that's how we doing it? That's how we're doing it?
Oh, okay. So since you have used the term,
yes,
can you tell us what that meant? So, like, how do you tell someone? Now, was the person into you? Because I think that matters too. If the person is into you, I think it matters.
So it does matter. So all right, I'm gonna talk to you guys from a different perspective, right, or a different aspect. Okay. So I can't answer your questions in the way of, I guess, what everybody would consider to be normal.
Okay.
And I say that to say is because that I am ethically non monogamous. ENM. If you have ever heard that before, ENM, it means ethically non-monogamous.
Okay.
So that means that I can be in a relationship. I can be in a relationship with you. I love you and everything, and we do all the things. But I can also be with someone else and do all the things. I'm not promising, everything to you. We have a specific type of relationship. Some people label these things as situationships and all of that. Like everything has all of these different terms or terminologies. But at the end of the day, it all depends on your lifestyle and how you live it.
Now I have a question.
Go.
When you do that, do they know about each? Like, do they know there are other people?
Yes.
So you are honest. Like, look,
I am honest. Yes.
I like you. I love you. We're doing all the things, but
yes,
I'm doing all those things over here too.
Yes.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to respect that, because I think when people hear this phrase most of the time, though, they're not a part of that ENM. They're not a part of that group, because they are doing it, and the person that they are cheating with, okay, and doing all this stroking, soaking, and everything else they can think of to do, does not know that this is what they signed up for, because they signed up for just me and you.
See, you got to respect that.
No, and absolutely. So I am with that 100%. But also I feel like everything needs a conversation, because a lot of the times people go into these situations assuming, right? You make up your own situation in your head. And then when it's not going the way you thought it was or the way you want it to, now it's a problem. Now he ain't or she ain't because you didn't really talk about what this is. I mean, I just want to let you guys know this is 2025, right?
It is.
The word cheating really is being used loosely, right? Nowadays, there's not a lot of monogamy. It's not. So what we need to do going into a situation is have that conversation. Have the conversation. And yes, you can be lied to and all of that. Yes, yes. But the conversation needs to be had.
Because I agree that, I agree with what you said. There is, that term is kind of phasing out, because people are in all of this poly whatever, all that stuff going on. But there's still so much pain that comes with that word that's being phased out, because there's still a lot of men and women whose expectation is that if I enter into a relationship with you, that you're going to be with just me.
But
and
you
I
said
think,
the word expectation.
right, the expectation. So like we keep talking about, Chica, how communication has to be at the forefront of any relationship that you have. I mean, the communication between anyone, any two
Gotta
people.
have the hard conversations, even if it hurts. And
you have to.
It's gonna hurt, because if you're on the receiving end of somebody telling you, like, look, this is what it is, that never feels good. And they'll say, oh yeah, I'm cool with it. But at some point, somebody's gonna develop some feelings at some point. But you gotta respect if someone's honest. And that's the problem. Most people are not honest. They
That is the problem.
They wanna do everything and do the most and sell you a dream.
People are scared of being honest because they don't want to lose what they have. But they also still want more somewhere else.
But they don't realize how much they probably would get more if you're honest, because even though the person might not want to hear it, but they may say you're giving them the option.
I agree. I feel like, yes, there are some women that say, and I am just speaking on the women right now. There are some women that say, oh, I just want the truth. I can handle the truth. And they absolutely cannot.
No.
Oh, no.
Don't fall for it,
Okay.
fellas.
No, I don't want to say don't fall for it.
No, don't fall for it. Understand. Reason why I say don't fall for it, I want you to be truthful with her, but don't fall for the I can handle it. Because when you give it to them, when you give it to them, be prepared to do some loving on them, some caressing of their emotions, because they're going to have a whole lot of them. As much as they say they can handle it, they can't.
Right.
They can't. So now you're going to have to not only be the person who caused that pain, but you're going to have to, if you care about the person now, if you care, because we're talking about people that supposedly care about each other. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to be the one that's going to have to provide them with some type of reassurance that you actually care. I think we have some comments that we can't see. I just wanted to kind of mention that. I want to address the comments if we have them. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we understand each other as a point of reference. Honestly, women, y'all know, we're going to speak for the women up here. It's not all of us, but we cannot always handle the truth. So when we're saying to our dudes, listen, give me the truth. I just need to know. It'll make me feel better. The truth is always better than what we can make up in our minds.
Now, on the other end as well, ladies, if you are considering or interested in other things, you should experience whatever it is that you want. You should not hold yourself back and not live your life for someone else. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that we do that a lot as well.
We do.
So if you do want to experience something, you should absolutely go out and do that. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you to tell your partner. I'm not telling you to not tell your partner. And I'm saying that, and I can only be honest.
And we love that.
Right?
That's what we want.
I can only be honest.
That's what we want.
Because at the end of the, like we just said, some people just cannot handle the truth. And if you are not willing to lose your situation and you just need to try something, try it.
You guys see me shifting in my seat.
Try it.
Bella is a try it type of girl. Okay. And that's fine because that works for some people.
Right. For some.
That works for some people. And we are in no means telling you how to or how not to have your relationship. But at the end of the day, we all do have choice. We want to shout out to Keish Sky and Danielle. Hey how y'all doing? Yes, indeed.
Danielle, what's up?
Yes, indeed. Those uncomfortable conversations do have to happen. And, sometimes, if we can handle the truth, then, usually if you can handle something, you really don't necessarily ask about it. I find that, sometimes we want to hear it because, we just want to hear it. I don't know. We just want to live in that moment, maybe. I don't know, because you already know if you have to ask the question. So then when they come back and they tell you, but, it's you I love, that was only sex. And I'm glad you explained that because in my research, I was looking at stuff and my background in psychology and human services and all those types of things, it tells us that, people feel differently about different things. So we're all different. But there are also reasons why you can be a part of that in ENM group of people because whatever it was that you encountered along the way in life caused you to be comfortable with being who you are. As most of us...
Oh, can I tell you what that was?
Sure.
Constantly being cheated on.
That'll do it.
Okay.
So instead of being cheated on or feeling less than, right? Because that's what happens. And at the end of the day, I can sit up here and honestly say that it's just sex.
Okay.
Right? Because a lot of the times, a lot of people are running around having sex. There's no emotion behind the sex. It's just the feeling. Everybody is chasing that feeling, whatever it is, whether it's the journey or the destination. Okay? So that's all sex is. It's the journey or the destination. And everybody is chasing whatever that feeling is, that excitement, those endorphins. That's what you're chasing. It has nothing to do with love. Now, back in the day, right? Back in the day, men had to fight to get some. They had to work hard to get some. Today,
Danny said try it.
yeah, that's right, Danny. Try it.
Okay, Danny.
Try it. But today, they don't have to work hard. Today, they can pick up the phone. They can go online. They can go to the store.
Yeah, they can. They can literally go to the store, Chica.
And there's no. So today, in my opinion, Lenore's opinion, sex is not what it is not it doesn't have the worth it used to before.
That's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement, and it's also one that is concerning. It's concerning for someone like myself, especially because I want sex to have value. You know, I really do. I want it to mean more than just, you know, fulfilling some type of desire. Because let me tell you,
it means reproduction.
And let me give you guys some facts here. Because I'm glad you said that.
Before you do that, let's read this message real quick from Glor.
Okay.
Depending on the age of the man or woman, most would rather lie than to lose you, especially if what you are making, I don't have my glasses on, so forgive me.
What you're risking.
What you're risking, losing has history with you, and they have been great to you. Thank you, Glor.
You know, that is the truth.
That is very true.
That is the truth. We keep a closed lip because we really are sometimes afraid. And you know, a lot of it is age dependent, but I find that at every stage, at every age, there is a person that comes into your life. You know, if you haven't committed to one person, it could be that one person that you've gone through all decades of life with, right? But it could be multiple people, and it's always someone that you just don't want to lose because they give you something that other people have never given you.
Right.
And you definitely want to make sure that you don't lose that person. So sometimes we dumb ourselves down emotionally and sometimes sexually because we don't want to lose this person. And when dumbing down sexually doesn't necessarily mean you're a boring lay. Let me explain what I mean by that. Dumbing down sexually means you are willing to do any and everything, even if it's uncomfortable for you sometimes, to keep that person. So it's almost like dumbing down emotionally. It's dumbing down sexually because you're not comfortable doing certain things. Certain things doesn't excite you. You're doing it for that person because you don't want them to leave. That creates even a bigger problem.
Oh, yeah.
So we have some biological issues going on when you're talking about cheating because a lot of times we go back to our instinctual natures of trying different things because the whole basis, as Bella was saying, was reproduction. And then it became pleasure, right? So we just took the pleasure, Chica, and just ran with it.
It went from reproduction to pleasure, right? But like sinful,
lustful,
right? It wasn't anything that you could enjoy, you know. And I can get into a whole when it comes to Black women and with other women and sex and how we were brought up that it wasn't the thing to do. So you know, like even in my lifestyle settings, you know, the Black women, it takes them a little longer to warm up.
Okay.
Right? But where the white women and the Spanish, well, most of the white women are ready, hot and ready from the gate. But, you know, they were taught differently. We were all brought up differently. I know, like, my mom didn't make sex like a big thing and say, don't do it. But just naturally, it wasn't something that we did. It was shunned. You know, we weren't taught how to seduce our man or to keep a man. It was food and laundry.
And you know what? In some cultural settings, because most of the times when we're raising our children, I'm glad you mentioned that because it is something that I came across doing research. We teach what we know, right? So we're comfortable teaching what we know. We're not comfortable teaching. My mother would, God rest her soul, she would not be able to live today and teach us anything about what's going on. She wouldn't be able to give us a clear conversation about sex today. She wouldn't have been able to do that because her life was very different. Listen, Keish, Scott, I agree with you. Folks are out here just slaying and slaying. Listen, they just out here just doing the most. And you are absolutely right. I mean, we out here today, you know, it's almost like you got to put on your battle gear to go out here and do relationships.
It's vicious in these streets. And, you know, people don't realize, you know, everybody's entitled to live their life how they choose. If you want to go out there and lay and slay all day long, that's on you. And I'm not even mad at it. But when you are not being honest and truthful with the person that you are, it's deceitful.
It's deceitful.
Yeah, and the long-term effects, I mean, that it has on that other person, you know, not everybody recovers. You know, there are people that get cheated on left and right and then they decide they don't want to be monogamous
Right.
ever again.
And listen,
or for a while.
PTSD is
It's
real.
real. It's very real.
It's real. People don't understand that, when you're doing this relationship stuff and you haven't chosen as of yet to have a partner that you're just going to be just monogamous with, and sometimes that might not be your choice, and that's all up to you. But when you choose to be out here laying and slaying, it becomes an issue because you leave a trail of pain and you leave a trail of hurt, and people are not able to pick up as easily, and they're not as able to accept true love, whatever that means.
And again, I think that has a lot to do with age again, because today it is just not the same as it was for us coming up.
Right.
It's not. It's
Right.
absolutely
but we
not
have
the
all
same.
These outside factors now. Like now it's easier to cheat. It's easier to, everything's accessible. You could meet people online. You could just, people are DMing you. It's just, there's 1,000 different social media platforms. Everybody's hooking up. It's just, everything is too accessible these days.
I just don't like the word cheating anymore. I think it's so irrelevant.
Well, it's only cheating if it's, you both have established it's a committed relationship.
I mean,
and
right?
It's me and
If
you, and
both
then they go out
parties have established, if both parties are in the relationship,
Right.
both-
and
That's another problem.
that's
another
the
problem. Let me tell y'all something very interesting. Can you throw up the I believe it might be the second picture for me. Yes, that one. It says that the US tops the league table of countries with the most cheaters. So here in the United States of America, we just cheating. We just cheating all over the place. But surprisingly, and I didn't understand this, and hopefully we have some listeners out there in these states, Texas, Nebraska, and Alabama are America's infidelity hotspots.
I mean,
Oh,
what
yeah.
else is there to do in Nebraska?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. What else is there to do in Nebraska?
What is there to do?
I mean,
In Texas, I'm sorry, but everything big in Texas.
That's what they
baby.
told me.
You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
they told me.
So I was gonna move to Texas at one point.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was moving to Texas after Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was-
okay. And then another interesting fact, 31% of affairs are conducted between coworkers.
Yeah,
That husband, that work husband,
that work husband,
that work wife.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, yeah. We don't know nothing about that. Don't you
never
see
had-
it? I'm sure you see it.
Oh, I see it all the time. I'm talking about personally. I know nothing about
Oh
that.
well, personally.
Oh, I do.
Well,
I
I've
always had me a
I've
work
had
wife and a work husband.
I've had-
I keep
I
both.
see it all the time. I've seen some things.
I keep both of them.
I know that's right, Bella. I know that's right. But you know what's so
One's bringing
funny?
you breakfast, the other one's bringing you lunch.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Absolutely.
I'm not mad at it.
You know it.
Because you have these relationships that you build with people, and at work, because you spend most of your time there, 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day you're spending with at least 8 hours, because some folk like to work overtime, but we're not gonna say nothing about that. But at the end of the day, you're with this person so much. They're hey, let's go get lunch.
Lakeisha, especially in the hospitals. Yeah, they hot in the
Oh,
hospital.
the hospital.
They nasty passing that bacteria around in the hospital.
Listen,
Them
I've been
COs.
I've been trying to get into the
COs, they
hospital
live there.
system. Not because of that, but I have been trying to get in the hospital. So if
I
y'all know, if
was
y'all
trying
have
to
a
go
plug,
from
let
corporate
Miss B know.
to medical.
Yeah, let Miss B know. But it's amazing. But also, and our Europe brothers, those men be fine over there in Europe sometimes. They don't even consider sexual intercourse to be cheating. 18.6% of them.
I'm telling you,
They don't consider sexual intercourse to be
sex
cheating.
is an activity. It's
In
an
Europe,
exercise.
it's very,
Wow.
and they're very open. Over
very
there.
open. There's more nudity. Like just
It's
they're
not
open with their
because
bodies,
Sex
with
has
everything.
nothing
yeah.
to do with love.
I just would
That's what I'm
never,
saying.
and that, to me, it does to me though. And that's what's so disturbing.
But you know why I say that it doesn't? Because you can be in love with someone and the sex isn't great. It doesn't do it for you, but
We
you
talked
still
about
love
that.
them,
Yeah, we talked
and you
about
don't
that.
want. You still
Yeah,
want to be
that's
with
true.
them.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Sex doesn't have anything to do with love. Sex is a different connection. It's a different form of it's more than intimacy, obviously, but it's
But
just a
it
different
doesn't
form
have
of connection.
sex. Right.
It's not love.
Okay. I mean,
I don't know if I 100% agree with
you
that.
can make love.
Mhm.
You can make it into love, but it's not love.
sex is not love.
No.
But when you are in love with that person you are having sex with, it enhances it a billion times.
It does.
It does.
And I think that's
But
why
that's
people
not-
stay.
yeah.
But it does. Sex is not the love part. It enhances the love part. It can make the love grow into whatever you want because it's a It's an emotion. It's a euphoria that you get from it. It's happiness, and you think that it's love, but it's over in a few minutes.
It's over in a few minutes for most, but you know, gotta come
mean,
a little,
that feel-
gotta come a little longer. Gotta come a little longer.
So
we won't
sorry for some of you.
last.
I'm so
We
sorry
won't
for some
last
of
but a
you.
few minutes if it's only like that. But the last point on this, I wanted to say, 23% of men and 19% of women who are not married have cheated, and that percentage is about equal. So we have as many men out here cheating. Girls, ladies, I'm sorry, but yes, we are doing it too. You know,
I mean, we've
And-
always been doing it. We just do it better.
we do it. We do
And
better.
it is just it's a fact.
And listen, I'm
because-
claiming all my sisters. Look, we do it better.
No, we do it better.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are mindful of what we're doing. We don't get clumsy and get lost in the sauce. Like, so when a man has the opportunity to get some new
they're
buns,
just all the way sloppy.
right?
They're just
It's
sloppy.
they're just like, oh my god, like they can't help themselves, right? So we notice everything. We notice what they're doing.
Everything.
Even the slightest change up.
The slightest little change up, you know what I mean? Like
yes.
the biggest thing that men do, they will start a fight. Because they will start a fight, and then now they're also mad
Every
that
time.
they can't come home right away, or something
a reason
like
to stay out later.
it's a reason to
not
stay out
come home.
late. Yeah, it's always something. But women, we do that better. You don't know what we doing. We could have been getting our hair, nails done. We went shopping. We went to something with the kids. No, we was doing the butt.
Okay, and Keish, I gotta.
I can't.
We was doing the butt. Yeah,
We was doing the
yeah.
butt.
Bella said we was doing the butt, and that's what we're doing, right? But at the end of the day, Keish, you were saying it's the spiritual connection between the two people that makes it lovemaking and not just sex.
Yes.
And I think that's an important part to mention. We're not gonna go to church on y'all.
Yes.
But we have to mention this important fact because that is the whole reason for marriage. You know, that connection that you have that only, and people will argue this point. I'm not going to argue with anyone because it is my belief that marriage does hold a little bit more weight than just being out here. Just, the piece of paper don't matter. It kind of does.
It matters.
It kind of does. I think in the back of everybody's mind who gets married, the expectation, because we're talking about expectations here, right? Is that it means a little bit more than just having a relationship, because then you get to a place where you're trusting certain things in a marriage. So I agree with that connection between the two people. It makes it lovemaking. And then I could say, yeah, it probably is just sex. I can kind of get with that.
Because she said it right. It's the spiritual connection. It's something that connection. That's just like when you have sex with multiple partners and then certain ones you can't kind of like let go of. It's a soul tie, right?
Absolutely.
You get this soul tie. So, it's a connection thing. It affects your emotions, hormones, pheromones, and all of that. But it is not love. You
Absolutely.
can make it love with the person that you are in love with. That spiritual connection that builds the love. That makes, you know what I'm saying? But sex itself.
And let me,
It's not
before we
love.
go on a very quick break, I just want to address something that Danielle said. We don't change our patterns. So when we are out there stroking and soaking, multiple
Laying
people,
and slaying.
laying and slaying, we don't change our patterns when we go back home.
Right.
So we're a little less likely to get caught. And not that that's okay, ladies. I don't think that that's okay that
nothing to
we
brag
do it.
on,
We
but-
do it to these young men, and we
They're
have
so
them
nice
out
and
here
sweet on this
upset.
podcast. They're so
You
sweet
know,
women. They're so sweet, right?
Yeah, we are. We are very sweet,
I'm not that sweet.
Bella.
I'm not that sweet, okay?
Yes, you are.
Well, Miss B
Yes, you
is
are.
very sweet. But at the end of the day,
Yes, you
it's
are.
true. It's true. We're out here trying to find some connection, right? We are out here trying to find connection. So we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back.
Keish said she loves your podcast, guys.
Thank you so
Aw,
much,
thank
Keith.
you.
Appreciate you. We're going to take a break.
Okay. They showing-
Yeah, they're showing your thing.
Okay.
In the commercial.
No, I was like, where did it go? I'm like, it's on Sundays. It's not on your day.
Welcome back. This is Chica.
And this is Miss B.
And
And
you're
this is
tuning into Untamed Thoughts.
Welcome back. Thanks to everyone for joining us again on today. Those of you who are just joining in, we are talking about, is it just sex? And we have had such a heated conversation here. I want to start this segment off with the next picture. If you just throw that up there, because I think sometimes people don't understand how this is actually working here. With all of these statistics that are out there, because they do studies on this stuff. And 30 to 40% of all unmarried relationships experience at least one infidelity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. At least one infidelity. So we really are out here doing these types of things. And I say we because, listen, we all in this together. The human race is out here doing whatever they feel big and bad enough to do. And sometimes it leaves an emotional trail of pain.
Absolutely.
An emotional trail of pain. Thank you so much for that picture. It's important to understand that there are so many reasons that people cheat, and I don't have a better word right now. Maybe we'll create one later on, but
stray.
Yeah, stray.
Do the most.
Doing the most.
Doing
all
the
of those things equate that one little word, cheating. It equates to that. But we want to make sure that there is understanding out there as much as we can, because what happens is there is no communication. Most of the time, the only thing that's going to be said is, it's just sex. It didn't mean anything. There's not going to be any true understanding, because no one's going to be able to explain, like Bella,
but
exactly
you know what?
why it happened.
That term, it's just sex, it's not really said a lot to the person, like the individual. Like if we were in a conversation and you were mad at me because I wouldn't say it's just sex. It's something that you say to somebody else. So like say Chica's mad at me because I cheated on you, and she's going to come to me and say, and I'm going to tell her, but it was just sex, Chica. Like it wasn't anything. She's going to say, but she's going to defend you. It's not something that I would say to you. Now I've said
There's
it
some
in a
people that will
situation.
say it.
I've said it. You know what I mean? But my lifestyle is different.
Right, it's
like
different.
when I was vanilla is what we call it.
Okay.
Normal is whatever normal is, right?
Me.
Yeah, so
I can't.
y'all know, lose my thought real quick. So any case, what was I saying?
You was talking about when you were vanilla.
Yeah, when I was vanilla, that's not something that I would say, because then it was cheating.
Okay.
Right, then it was cheating. So or creeping.
Okay.
I like that word.
Okay, creeping.
Yeah.
That creeping got a lot of people jacked up. That creeping. That creeping. When that phrase was out heavy, that got a lot of people messed up.
So I creep.
Yeah. That got a
Just
lot of people.
keep it on the down
Keep
low.
it on the down low.
See, that's the thing. When you're making promises to somebody and you're in a committed relationship and you just creeping, that's a problem. But if you're being honest, and say, I'm not ready. When someone's telling you they're not ready for a relationship, they're still in your life and they're doing all the things, but those words come out of you. What happened?
OPP. Other people's property. Yeah, I remember that, Keish. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even if they don't outright say, I'm doing me, but you got to listen to those keywords, what they're saying and what they're not saying. Because even if they're like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship.
No, it's not about listening.
I have a lot going on. They're telling you without telling you. So, even if they're not blatantly.
Right. And I think I understand what you're saying. And I think I understand what Bella is saying as well. Because if there's no knowledge of what you are actually walking into, then you can't effectively handle what comes with that relationship. You can't even begin to say whether or not you want to even handle it. I think it's unfair to bring someone into something and they really don't have knowledge of what they're getting into.
I think that if you are making the decision to sleep with someone, then you should be knowledgeable enough to make the decision, right? So now you go and you meet somebody at the club, or you met somebody at the library, and y'all had this deep down conversation or whatever, and then y'all turn around and have sex.
Not the library.
So now you're all of a sudden, I'm just talking about different
Library
places.
you going
people.
to? I'm like, what
I never
library
met
you
anybody in
going
the library. It happens. I watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
So, but you meet this person, and the conversation and everything is wonderful, and maybe you talked all night, and then y'all fell asleep and you woke up in the morning and you had sex. Now all of a sudden one of you were in love. I'm not going to say it's the woman or the man. It could be anyone.
It could
right?
be either one. Yes.
All of a sudden somebody is in love, but all you did was talk about life, and y'all had a good energy with each other, and then you turn around and you had sex. Now somebody wants a relationship.
That's how,
Right now,
there's always gonna be
first
one
to
person that does.
me, that is absolutely unfair.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Because we met each other, we had a good conversation, we had some sex, and now all of a sudden you want more from me. I just met you. This was an agreed upon thing. There should be no expectations. Now, if you need to make all of these decisions or have these conversations before you have sex.
See, but that's the
before you
problem.
have
The conversations
sex.
aren't happening. So there's going to be somebody that gets
but,
caught up.
But so this is where I come in, and this is where my tough love happens, right? And I'm going to talk to my ladies on this.
Okay.
If you link up with someone and you just give them your body, and you just constantly, y'all hang out and you just constantly give them your body, why do you have expectations? If nothing was ever promised to you, if you did not take the time out to have a conversation and get clarity on the situation, you cannot be upset. You cannot be upset.
And
let's take accountability.
Accountability. I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Okay, because everybody's out here talking about men this, men that, men this. Yes, they can be.
Quiche, I like that. Quiche. But even with the conversations, your feelings are your feelings.
Absolutely.
And
They
I
are.
agree with that because...
Absolutely. Let me
go
just
ahead.
say, absolutely. But the reason why I'm saying that is because now, in this moment, it is up to you to do what you have to do for your feelings.
Absolutely.
You are still not
Absolutely.
entitled to expect anything from someone. That's all I'm trying to say. Yes,
And
your
that's
feelings are
where
your
we go
feelings.
wrong. I get it. Yeah.
That's where
Your
we go
feelings
wrong.
are your feelings, but that's where you go. Right, that's where you go wrong. You can't force your
And
feelings
most of
on
the time,
someone
it's,
else.
let's be honest, most of the time, not all the time, it's us women because we are more emotional based.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are.
Most of the
So
time.
there are times where someone's telling you, I'm not ready, I'm living my life, and
Right.
we're like, okay.
And you're
Inside
still
we're
doing
dying.
it. Right.
Inside we're dying
Right.
because we
And you
want
still
that
hanging on with a
person, but we're hanging
thread.
on and getting our feelings hurt.
Yeah. And now
they're
all
being
of a
honest in their
sudden,
life.
he's not shit. He's not this. He's not that. But I don't agree with you on that because he said to you that he's not ready. He's not willing. He's not this. He's not that. And that to me is honest. So it's up to you as the woman to decide what you want. If you
Right.
decide to stay knowing what he wants, don't be a nag and keep pushing that. He told you what he does not want or what he wants.
Right. And you know what I respect? I respect women that take the accountability avenue. Because at the end of the day, we are accountable for what happens to us, right?
Absolutely.
Because we control that whole narrative. We really do control it, just like men control their narrative. So we have to take responsibility for what it is that we allow to happen to us.
Absolutely.
That is a true statement. But at
Absolutely.
the same time, though, because like Danielle was saying, a few comments up, she was saying that she asked the questions. Look, when was the last time you slept with somebody? Because if you ask the
He
right
said
questions,
yesterday.
he said yesterday.
Right.
I mean, because if you ask the right questions and you understand what you're dealing with a
Can't
little
be
bit
mad at
more
the
too,
answers, yeah.
we get afraid to ask questions.
You
We're
have to ask the
afraid
questions.
Because we
say
don't want to
stuff.
hear the answer. We usually know what the answer is.
And just because he's fine, ladies, and just because she is a dime piece, men, it doesn't mean that they are compatible
Good
with
for
your
you.
personality, with your emotional connections.
Yeah.
That's
that
why a
you
lot of
made.
us are out here messed up now because you got with the baddie, you got with the with the dude, the
And, usually
popping
does not
hustler,
work
you got with
out.
all sorts of stuff, and now they all shriveled up and they are not that person.
They're not what you,
You know
thought
what I
they
mean?
were.
They're not who you expected. So we really have to take time. We really have to take time and figure things out.
But
Absolutely.
Danny's right. You got to make a choice that's best for you. Either continue to stay in it,
Yep.
and keep your mouth shut,
Or bounce.
and enjoy,
Yeah.
and take it for what it is, or leave.
Absolutely.
And we don't do that. We don't
Right.
do that. A lot of times we just don't do that.
And welcome to the Manny Way. And thank you for agreeing
Mm-hmm.
with what's being said, because I think it's important that we always, we have to look out, and that's the other thing too, and I'm going to say this, and I'm probably not going to be the popular vote here, but we do have a responsibility to ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's kind of like the same concept of each one, teach one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't accept certain behaviors, the person that I didn't accept it from might walk away from me,
That's
right?
what we're always afraid
And they
of.
might go to another person
Mm-hmm.
that may or may not accept it. If we don't accept bad behavior, there's a better chance that when they go to the next person, if we understood accountability for our own actions, for our own bodies, we have to be accountable for that. We can't just assume that someone else is going to take our emotions and our feelings and our heart. They're not going to take it as seriously as we do.
But you hit the nail on the head. We are always afraid if we are true to what we feel, they're going to get it from somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because if we're not accepting it, there's always going to be some person out there. I don't want to say dummy. There's going to be someone else out there that's like, okay,
But I do have to say that, and I don't have the statistics in front of me. I didn't look it up or research or anything like that. But if somebody was to look it up right now, and see,
You okay?
Excuse me, my allergies.
I know.
and see what is the percentage of. Look, that cough just made me lose my thought. I'm sorry, guys. I have CRS. That stands for can't remember shit. Okay.
He has
Any
all these
little
acronyms.
thing I do, any little thing makes me lose my thought. So I don't know what I was about to say, but I was talking about statistics
Statistics, yes.
on. It wasn't cheating, because that's not the word of the day.
Excuse me.
It was something we just talked about. I guess I'll go back to it. Never mind.
Well, I do want to say, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I had turned myself down a little bit. I want to say that this has been a great show, and we're probably going to have to come back
Mm-hmm.
because I think that this topic needs more exploration. I really do. I think to be helpful, it needs a little bit more exploration. But I just want everybody to understand that perceptions of infidelity are subjective. Some view it as an act of betrayal that destroys the core of a relationship, and not just the relationship, but the core of who you are sometimes, while others may not place such a significance on the physical act. It will depend on each individual's relationship values, beliefs, and personal experiences. Ladies,
Absolutely.
anything else you guys want to say?
I think you said it all.
No,
You
Bella,
all right over there?
I was hoping that we wouldn't go through this, but I go through these coughing fits. But tell us about Bella Lux.
Okay. Well, hello. For those of you that don't know, I am Lenore Party Boyd. Everyone calls me Bella. I am the owner of Bella Lux brand, and we are a luxury natural skincare company dedicated to redefining self-care through high-quality, handcrafted products. Our brand specializes in body butter creams, oils, scrubs, and skincare essentials that blend simple, effective ingredients with indulgent formulations. At Bella Lux, we believe that self-care is a luxurious necessity, not just an option. Our products are crafted in small batches to ensure quality, freshness, and performance, and our commitment to excellence is backed by customer-driven innovation. So I can factually tell you that 95% of our product testers love the formulations, and 85% are ready to buy, and it's growing. So stay tuned,
All
because
right,
there's
where
more
can
to
we
come
find
from
you?
Bella Lux.
Where can we find you?
I can be found. You can shop at my website at bellaluxbrand.com. I'm also on Instagram at Bella Lux Brand, Facebook Bella Lux Space Brand, and TikTok. I don't really know. I think it's Bella-Lux-Brand.
All right, there you have it, Bella Lux brand. And let me tell you, I can attest to it. The products are awesome, 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 awesome.
Yeah.
Please go make an order. Shut her website down, bellaluxbrand.com. Shut the website down. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you every week tuning in. Thanks to all of those who joined the conversation on today. We are just excited about the next broadcast, and hopefully we will see you again soon.
Right.
Thanks
Good
for having me,
night.
guys.
Bye.